RHMaxi for his ideals. A lot of people, I don't know, I guess I don't talk about it that often.
Break it down. Break it down.
Yeah, so it's for. Let me tell this. How about this? It's an interesting story how I came across Richard.
Yeah. Come on, bro. I'm a coach for 20 years. Like, my life is awesome is going to become a podcast where I interview multinational people all over the world, and I help this community break far outside of crypto. But my roots are RH PulseChain, and I'm gonna stay loyal because that's who I am. So break it down, bro. Give me your story.
Yeah, so I actually came across Richard over kind of in a disagreement with a friend in a way. I was at a party. And it's funny, like one of the best things that happened to me was running to a friend who was like, hey, have you heard of, we were talking about crypto and he's into Monero and stuff. Hey, have you heard of Richard Heart? He's talking about Ethereum and all the, talking about this and it's got all this attack surface and how it's not going to do well and all this stuff. This is when, he's a BTC Maxi. And it struck me as like, that don't make any sense. Like, I was new to crypto at the time. It's 2017. So I was fairly new to crypto, maybe it's been 6 months or so. And I was like, oh, I want to hear what this guy has to say because it don't make any sense to me. Ethereum seems great. Yeah, there's attack surface with smart contracts, but it's isolated in the contract portion, whatever. Ethereum itself is great though. And I was, of course, bullish and stuff on it. And I started watching this content. I think maybe he gave me a video or something to watch, and I watched that. And I was like, it makes a couple points, but obviously, with a lot of Richard debates, it's kind of like I'm going to make my points really, really strong, and then kind of ignore a lot of the other stuff, even though he's right most of the time, anyways. Anyways, I disagree. So I started watching him, went through all the self-help stuff, went through all that. Wow, this guy's a really smart guy. Started watching him. Again, this is Bitcoin Maxi Richard. He's still defending it. He's on Max Kaiser. He's debating Roger Ver, talking about Bitcoin stuff. Is like, okay, well, just a good time to learn, I guess. And he really didn't understand Ethereum at the time. He didn't have any reason to because he was, I guess, rich in Bitcoin. And then he kind of had to when he was going to create his own token, right, with Hex and CFD token before that and all that stuff. So anyways, I came across him via that, and I just got consumed with, oh my God, this guy is like super smart. He's rich. Like he's all the stuff like I want to be, right? Like he's extremely smart. He was, I don't know if he's a billionaire at the time. Let's say just multimillionaire, cool, good with ladies, good, all that stuff, super attractive just as a man too. And then the reason I have so much conviction in him too is this entire time he has never strayed away from his goal, and his goal is glory. He wants to be one of the greatest people on earth, at least in crypto for now. And I've talked about it before. I believe he wants to do all the crypto stuff as a means to an end to turn it into fun longevity research, save our lives, all that stuff. I did plenty of content. I'm not going to go into it, but I believe that's his mission. And again, RHMaxi for his ideals. I think longevity is a great thing to work on. I think that delayed gratification, all those values, all the stuff their community holds true is amazing. And his products are just a natural extension of that. And I can see, having followed him so long and seen him watch every live stream, I think I must be in the top 5 of people who've watched every single bit of content I could ever find on Richard. I understand what he's trying to do in his vision. So even when, again, we have to wait, shake the weekends out, all that stuff, I'm like, yeah, cool. Like it makes sense. I can fit that into the master plan of whatever he's thinking. And it's not, he's not a god or any of that stuff. I've criticized him plenty of times. I don't agree with everything he does, but oh my God, if you're ever going to bet on a person in crypto, I would never bet against this guy. So that's why I think it's easier for me to look deeper, especially in the depths of the bear market with sadness, despair. Oh, the price went down. Why do we have 1,000x yet? It's easier for me to be like, oh, well, that makes sense. That's just part of the plan. Like whatever's going on is meant for a purpose, and him getting glory is a good thing for the world. So, yeah, I think I was trying to see where I was going with that to be like so the reason that I think it's so important, and for me at least, to focus on promoting the blue chips, a lot of the important projects I think in the ecosystem and stuff too. I'm not a Hex Maxi. I'll talk about stuff on the show that I think are good for Hex and ecosystem and PulseChain, of course, too. But I think my time is best spent promoting, creating content, telling people the story of this guy who I've been following for like 7 years now, and who has given, his products have given me so much. I feel like I need to give back. And for me to give back, I want to do that in a way that is, I can keep my integrity. I can do it where, in a sea of in a community that's turned into a sea of people who are just fighting for, either the community themselves, fighting for Richard, or fighting to get people to look at their own token, or or trying to create a platform that they hope will be good for the ecosystem, stuff like that. I like to be that the person that, again, I have other beliefs too. I don't want to monetize. I want to make my money in Hex and PulseChain. I don't monetize my channel. Don't do stuff like that. It's just my personal opinion. Don't care if anyone else does it. It's just what I do to keep me, be untainted by all the other stuff going on. This thing is
Can
better
you
for me
afford to live?
Yeah, so I'm fortunate enough to, still have plenty of money to live on and not need to do that too. So again, my situation is different. That's why I'm not saying it's for everyone. Like, I want everyone to do whatever is best for their situation. But if I can afford to not monetize and not do, take sponsors and stuff like that, I will. Now, if I ever need to, I don't know, you may never see me again, or I'll just update my worldview. But currently, yeah, that's the best thing that works for me. So anyway, I'm trying to wrap that into the thing I think I can have the most utility for in this community is to make sure everyone knows about the greatest product on earth, and Richard's mission and just stuff like that. Because I think, again, after crypto, I think eventually, if he wants to be the greatest man in the world, he's got to go beyond crypto. And shoot for the moons, you'll land the stars, right? Like, worst case, he's able to set up longevity funding, help a lot of people, do a lot of amazing real world stuff. And crypto can just be a means to enter that. I truly believe that. And that's something, if I'm going to sign up for something and spend a lot of my time, energy, blood, sweat, tears, money, again, I lose money. I lose money buying equipment. I just bought a new laptop. Nobody paid for that. I paid for that because I believe in this stuff, and not in a worship way, but just, you got to bet on some horse. Like, I think this is a good horse to bet on.
I've never heard it put that way.